Hello, hello, hello. I think I am live. I hope that the sound is good, that you can hear me well. So my name is Helen Reed. I am an intuitive guide and human design specialist, and I am coming live to you today to share all about the defined solar plexus and how having a defined solar plexus impacts your ability and really drives the way that emotions want to move through your body. So I am, first of all, if you don't know your human design, if you've never heard of human design, but if you're interested to know what it is, if you're interested to get your chart, you can get your free chart from mybodygraph.com. So if you haven't already got your human design chart, if you don't know whether you have a defined solar plexus or not, I invite you to go over to mybodygraph.com, get your chart. Human design is the most incredible system. It gives you a blueprint for your soul. It gives you a roadmap for your evolution process in this lifetime, and it is super, super powerful. If you like things that are efficient, if you like things that really support the process to be the most efficient, the most productive, the most transformational in the shortest amount of time, then I really invite you to go over and get your human design chart. So when you have your chart, if you look at the chart and you'll see at the bottom there is a square, which is the root center. Then up from that is another square, which is the sacral. And then to the right of that, there is a triangle. It will either be, in the body graph software, it will either be brown, which means that you have a defined solar plexus, or it will be white, which means it is undefined. So I am just going to turn off. I've just realized I've got my notifications coming on, so that should stop now. Okay, so if it is brown, that means it's a defined solar plexus. If it's white, it means that it's undefined according to the human design system. If you have an undefined solar plexus, I invite you to go and check out my video from last week, which explains all about emotional processing when you have an undefined solar plexus. If it's defined, then this video today is for you. So the solar plexus is all about emotional processing. It's all about emotional awareness and developing emotional intelligence and emotional evolution as a human species. This is our next level of growth. This is our next level of evolution. This is our next level of awareness. This is where we are being invited to dive in deep. And knowing your human design and understanding how your solar plexus is designed to process emotions is so supportive. So to the extent that it is defined, this means that you are likely to identify with having periods of time where you feel like you're riding an emotional wave. It's like emotions just kind of take over and you can't see the wood for the trees. You are just in this zone of feeling like you're being overwhelmed by emotion. And what I want you to understand is that as someone with a defined solar plexus, this is your way. It is energetically correct for you to be overcome by emotions and to know that they are your emotions, and emotions are energy in motion. They want to move through your body. So this is about you experimenting with your emotional wave. And some people have emotional waves that have a frequency that happen, almost daily. Sometimes people's emotional waves show up every week or every few weeks. The more that you become aware of when you find yourself in this kind of emotional cycle, the more you'll get to know how your wave works and how it wants to move through you. So that is the first invitation, to become aware of the emotions that you feel rising up in you, and noticing how you flow with them. Do you flow with them in a way that is almost like downstream? Like the emotions are the river and you're in the river, and are you flowing with them and allowing them to move through you downstream? Or are you almost trying to paddle upstream, go against them, make them wrong, make them something that needs to be shut down, dealt with, moved away from you? This is about embracing them, because these energies, these emotional energies, this could be something that is new, or more likely it's something that has been repressed, shut down in your system, either in your childhood, or it's been passed down through the generations, through your ancestral line. And at this point in history, at this point in time, our role as humans is to allow these repressed emotions to come to the surface. You'll notice that there is a whole load of things going on in the world right now, and that is because the collective consciousness is wanting to purge the repressed negative emotions that have been left stuck in the collective consciousness. So there is so much coming up to be disclosed, to be seen, to be released. All of these issues that people don't want to talk about, they're coming to the surface because we're purging as a collective. We're purging those repressed emotions. And the same is happening on an individual level. So what you'll notice is that at the moment you might be seeing that you're more triggered, that you're noticing more intensity of emotion coming to the surface. And what I want you to remember is that you only have come to the surface what you can handle. The universe only gives you what you can handle. So whatever is coming up to be looked at, whatever is coming up to be processed and released and flowed with by you, is only something that you can absolutely handle. It's not too much for you. So now I'm going to give you a little exercise. So when you find yourself, and what you'll find is that you don't necessarily absorb very easily the emotions of others. When emotions are flowing through you, for you with a defined solar plexus, they're likely to be either, like I've said before, those repressed emotions that are from your childhood, or emotions that have been passed down through your ancestral lineage. And so what I invite you to do when you start to feel those emotions, when you start to feel the negativity rising, maybe it's fear, maybe it's shame, guilt, whatever it is, grief, just noticing. Your role is to become aware of your emotions, to be connected with your emotions in your body. This is not about being in your head and creating stories around the emotions that you're feeling. This is about being in your body. That is how you flow with your emotions. If you go into your head, you start to paddle upstream, you resist your emotions, you resist their flow, and remember that they are energy in motion and they want to flow. And you really inhibit the processing of those emotions, and you keep them trapped, you keep them stuck. So as you feel those emotions rising, as you feel the trigger and you feel it's beginning to amplify in your body and the wave beginning to start, what I invite you to do is to consciously expand your emotional grid. So if you imagine that your emotional grid is like, it's your aura, just imagine that it's getting bigger and invite it to get as big as can easily and gracefully be integrated in this moment right now. And I invite you to expand the grid up into the universe, and also down into the ground in equal proportions, allowing yourself to be grounded in the energy of your divine mother, of Mother Earth, and also elevated into the divine loving consciousness of your divine father. So just allowing those two aspects of yourself to expand, because as you do this, you are allowing your emotions to have more space to feel. You're allowing yourself to feel safer, to allow your emotions to come to the surface, and whatever is underneath, the ones that you're already feeling, to continue to flow. And then continuing to expand your emotional grid, if that's going to help you, just really tuning into what you need energetically in order to support the processing of these emotions. And then when these emotions are beginning to rise and you're expanding your emotional grid, expanding your capacity to be able to feel and allow these emotions to move through you, what you're doing is you are giving them the loving presence. You are giving them the gift of your loving presence. And that's all they need. That's all they need. That's what they want. That's what they desire. That's what they're there for, to be held. And as you sit with them in loving presence, they transmute, they transform. And you give them loving presence for as long as it takes. You give them loving presence for as long as it takes. And it's so powerful. And the other thing that you can do is you can actually start to tense the muscles. So starting perhaps at the uppermost point that you can feel these emotions manifesting in your body, showing themselves in your body, just allow yourself to really go with the contraction. So if you've got like a chest which is feeling tight, or abdominal muscles that feel, you've been punched in the stomach or something, just allowing yourself to go with a kind of, I call it like a muscle squeeze wave. So you go from the top all the way down to your root, to the topmost part of your body where you can feel the sensation of these emotions being in your body. And then just emptying your lungs. So first of all, you can take a deep breath in, and then emptying your lungs completely. And then allowing yourself on the out breath to continue to contract and squeeze the muscles all the way down to the root. And then when you get to the bottom, or when it feels right, continuing to squeeze, and then a deep breath in. And continuing to do that. And what you'll notice is that you almost get this euphoric energy flowing into your body, because as you do that muscle squeeze wave, you dislodge a lot of the stuck and stagnant energy that wants to be shifted and wants to be brought up into the light and transformed with your love and your presence. So just doing that muscle squeeze wave, and you can't get it wrong. Whatever you're intuitively guided to do with your body in order to almost contract on the out breath, and then a deep in breath, it's so powerful. So I invite you to play with that. And then finally, I really invite you to understand that those around you might not necessarily know how you're feeling. They might not necessarily understand how you're feeling in any given moment. And so really, the key here, I think we might be about to be disturbed, but I'll just finish this off. The key here really is to communicate with your loved ones, communicate with them about how you're feeling in that moment, and how actually you need to go away and be in your zone and flow with your emotions, normally by yourself when you're going through this process. It's not normally going to help you necessarily to have someone there in the moment commenting on the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because with a defined solar plexus, you're just in that zone and you just want to feel it and you just want to ride it. And you need to communicate with those around you so that they understand what you need and what's most supportive for you as you're going through that process, because it's going to make your life so much easier, and it's going to create and foster this relationship of trust and understanding between you and those that you care about the most. So that is my all that I have to share with you today in relation to the defined solar plexus. And if you I invite you to try this stuff out. I invite you to experiment with it. Human design is first and foremost an experiment. It is there for you to experiment with. You take what I have shared, you take what resonates, and you leave behind what doesn't, and you experiment and you empower yourself to find your own way, to find the way that is most supportive for you to process these emotions, to allow this clearing out process to happen, because that is what is happening. Every time you allow yourself to ride this emotional wave, you are like unclogging the pipes. You're giving your energy system and your whole energy body and your whole physical body, you're giving it a deep clear out. And the more that you do it, the more you might find that more comes in order to be cleared. But the more that you do that, and the more that you allow yourself to embrace this process, the more that you'll notice that these episodes of kind of intense emotional waves will become less frequent, and you will have more time in between and more space. And that is because you are releasing a lot of the stuff that has been clogging your system, that has been clogging your aura, that has been keeping you kind of stuck and stagnant. And now you're allowing things to flow more. And this is not about getting rid of negative emotions forever, or emotions of separation forever. These are emotions that are of separation. They're emotions that are taking you away from your essence, from the truth of who you are, from your core divinity, and they're there to show you that they no longer resonate with where you're vibrating at, or where you desire to be vibrating. They're here to show you what needs to go. And so you're here to flow with them, be with them, flow with them downstream, be with them, give them your loving presence, expand your emotional grid up and down in order to give yourself that capacity and notice what magic happens in your life. And after you have let go of the emotion, it's really important just finally to really anchor yourself in to the energy of your divinity. Anchor yourself in to what it is that you're desiring to step into, what it is that you're desiring to experience more of in terms of emotion. So maybe at this point in time, you want to really expand into more love and connection in your relationships, or you want to expand your financial prosperity. Just allowing yourself, once you've done that clear out, to really anchor into the truth of what you desire, and really feel the vibration of having already realized and brought into physical form those desires, allowing yourself to expand that energy more and more and more. And don't forget the little things. Just finally, don't forget the little things. Don't forget the little pieces, because it's the little triggers, the little annoyances that create those kind of almost mini emotional waves that are going to allow you to unclog your pipes gracefully and gently, without the universe needing to send you this big confrontation that's going to, be like an emotional nuclear bomb, because you don't need it, because you're taking care of the little things. So I invite you to do that. Take care of the little things, and you really won't get so many of those big challenges that feel almost impossible to handle. Okay, so I'm sending you loads of love, and I will catch you on the next video. Mwah. Bye.